Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. And our first one comes from Puzzled Company 5714. Am I the beehole for refusing to go to a family dinner? Me, a 30-year-old female, and my twin brother live in different cities. Before last Christmas, I was speaking about gifts with my brother, and he was unsure what gift to get his wife, a 30-year-old female. During this conversation, I mentioned that I got her book that she really liked in the library. When they came over on a previous visit, he asked if he could pay me to have the gift for her, and I would get her something else. I agreed, but since the next day I was traveling to their house for the Christmas dinner, I got her a last-minute bath set. During the gift exchange, she absolutely loved the book from my brother, and was polite about my gift. However, later during the evening, she mentioned how she understands when money is tight, and that I could get a more thoughtful gift next time. It did not feel good. Then we traveled back home and never spoke about this again. Today, I'm speaking to my brother on the phone and discuss about Christmas gifts. I tell him that for my sister-in-law, my gift is a wool sweater that she specifically mentioned she liked a while ago. My brother asks again, and I let him have this gift for her, and that I get her something else. I said no, especially after last year. He had no idea that my sister-in-law made any comments, and that said maybe I interpreted it wrongly. Then he said he actually remembers my sister-in-law speaking privately with him afterwards and saying that gifts are reflections of love, and that I clearly did not put much thought into her gifts. I asked him to just get her something else because I put thought into my gift, and have no idea what to get her otherwise. After some back and forth, I agreed to let him have the gift, but I told him I'm not coming for dinner this year, as I don't want to hear any more comments. He said that I'm a baby, and to think about it. I am quite upset that he does this thing of asking for my gift. I also don't put that much pressure on myself when it comes to gifts, but I make an exception with my sister-in-law, as she often discusses the gifts she normally gets. Am I the beehole for not wanting to attend their dinner this year? Edit 1. I apologize for writing this in haste and making some errors in typing. Edit 2. An update. First of all, thank you to everyone who took the time to read and give their opinions. I would like to address some things. Indeed, I am somewhat of a pushover, especially when it comes to my brother. Partly, this is because he was always the sicker twin, and I believe needed more attention growing up. While I believe our relationship as siblings was normal, he definitely was the one who got more slack, while I was the one who has to understand that my brother needs more attention to me. To the comments saying that I'm a spineless idiot for letting him have the gift again, we have rather different ways of convincing people. I am the kind of person who takes even a soft no as a no, while he's the kind that keeps pushing, begging, and asking until he gets what he wants. When he asked for the gift the second time, I think I was very firm in my answer, but then there was a good 15 minutes of back and forth where he would not stop asking. I didn't consider myself a doormat, and I normally stick up for myself. But when people beg aggressively, especially about a gift like in this case, I give in. Since people asked what gift I got, we gather at the house every year and everyone brings dishes to serve together. But they don't give gifts because they provide the house for everyone to gather at. Even though it seems that the dinner issue was not very much commented on here, I would still like to say that I told him I'm not coming to dinner because I was upset during the conversation, but I don't think I mean it. Now for the update. My brother called me and asked if I could send the sweater by courier to him so that he can wrap it up. I took the general advice here and told him that I'm not giving him the gift, and he should take his time until Christmas to prepare a thoughtful gift for his wife. He said that I'm being ridiculous for taking her comments to heart and that I can get her anything, and she will be happy. It feels physically heavy to keep saying no to him, and my voice was shaking in the phone call, and I was ready to cry. But I said no and to stop asking me anymore. Otherwise, I will tell my sister-in-law about the way he gets her gifts. He did not appreciate what I had to say, to the point of him saying that I am a selfish person for refusing to help my brother when he's in need. Lastly, he said he still wants me to come over for dinner, even though I'm like this. We ended the phone call, and then he texted me asking for gift ideas for his wife. Alright, OP. So right off the bat, I'm gonna say you're not the beehole, but Yeah, I would say you're spineless. Not an idiot, but spineless. But your brother, on the other hand, sounds like a spoiled brat. Sounds like he was raised that way, with him being sickly and getting everything he wants while you didn't. It also doesn't sound normal to me, being, I guess, manipulated into doing stuff like this. It's not normal, OP. You make it sound like it's normal to you because that's probably the way you grew up, but that's weird. People asking for the gift from your gift to give to them. I've never heard that happening, well, at least in my family. My advice to you was going to be to tell your brother to kick rocks and not give him the gift, but judging from that edit, it seems like that's what you did, so good for you for finally standing up to him. Personally, I wouldn't go to that dinner. It sounds like they're gonna try to, double team you or crow you down to make you feel awful while you're there. If you do go, bring someone who has your back. You don't want to go, 2v1 like that. And also, going back over this story a little bit, it sounds like your sister-in-law is not a great person either. It seems like your brother married someone who's kind of like him. Over here discussing presents, she's trying to drop hints that that's not what she wants and she's trying to make you feel bad. Again, Opie, I wouldn't go. It sounds, I believe you should go where you're wanted and not where you're tolerated. Just, take my advice or not, but like I said, I wouldn't go. And our next one comes from Proper Ad 6783. Am I the beehole for asking my bio mom what she expected? I, a 15-year-old female, was born when my parents were 18 and 19 during their freshman year at college. It was unplanned, but my dad wanted to keep me, but my mom, Annie, didn't, so they made a compromise where Annie didn't abort me and would instead sign away all of her rights to my dad, who would have full custody. Annie and my dad didn't really speak for the rest of the time at college, and Annie requested that my dad not contact her, since she was moving from their hometown. My grandparents were the main people helping out my dad as I grew up. And my dad told me what happened when I was 13 after I asked about it because he started dating my soon-to-be stepmom, Madison. I resented Annie a little bit for not being around before realizing it was better not to have her in my life, since she didn't want me. Besides, if she was still around, my dad might have not met his fiancée, who I consider my mom already. Recently, Annie has reached out to my dad about reconnecting with him and me. My dad shot down the reconnecting with him part because of Madison, but he was open to letting her reconnect with me as long as I wanted to know her. Madison was not open to this and thought Annie would just hurt me, but my dad convinced her that we could cut her back out of our lives since she didn't really have any rights anyway. After a long talk, I agreed to meet her out of curiosity about what she had been up to. For some reason, my dad decided to invite Annie to our Thanksgiving dinner rather than schedule a meeting at a Red Lobster or something. I thought it was strange, but didn't say anything. It was a bit awkward at first, but we eventually started talking more freely during dinner. I did dodge some more personal questions, but I thought it was a good conversation overall. After my grandparents left, Annie was still there, and we started to load the food into the fridge. Annie offered to help, so my dad and Madison let her get the food into the Tupperware containers alongside me. It was silent before Annie broke it by complaining that I treated her like a stranger rather than my mother, and that I wasn't very emotional. I was kinda stunned by the treating her like a stranger part, and I only asked what did she expect. Annie looked like she was going to protest or something before my dad said it was best that she get home, since it was getting dark, and we'd finish cleaning up by ourselves. Annie left, and we finished cleaning up. My dad stopped me before I went to my bedroom and said that my response was kind of callous, and that I should be more empathetic to Annie because it must have taken a lot of courage for her to reach out. Hi, OP. I'm gonna say you're not the beehole. I'm also gonna say that, your bio mom is not the beehole either. In this case, because she was kind of young, and she did let you go without fighting. And I also agree with you on that. I don't know what she expected. She hasn't been in your life ever. And so, yeah, technically, this is a stranger you're meeting. You share blood and all that, but you've never met her before. I don't know about you, but when I first meet someone, I'm not all chummy and emotional and happy to see him. I just met him. I gotta meet you like two more times before I start even cracking jokes with you. But yeah, I don't know what's going on in her head. Maybe she's delusional like the other person in the story I read yesterday, because I don't know what she expected. You to jump into her arms and start crying and have this big huge family moment. And I also don't know what's up with your dad. I don't think you were rude. You didn't cuss at her. You didn't yell at her. You just said, what did you think would happen? I also don't, yeah, I don't know what your dad was expecting. I think he's kind of a little beholly with that because I thought you handled that just fine. And I think he's out of line for, having her over on Thanksgiving. Like you said, he should have scheduled this in a public place, like at a restaurant or something like that to avoid any kind of, drama. And our next one comes from support negative 5645. Am I the beehole for not allowing brother-in-law, his girlfriend, and their 6 dogs to move in with us? My husband's brother, age 36, and his girlfriend, age 44, decided to breed Dutch Hound puppies to make extra money because both of their incomes were not enough. That didn't make sense to us, but it was their decision and not our problem. With each litter that their dog had, they kept 1 or 2 puppies for themselves because they were cute. And right now, they have 6 dogs. They were renting a house, but the landlord told them that she was not going to renew their lease and gave them several weeks to find a new place to live. They ran out of time and couldn't find a house within their budget and didn't have another choice. Then, to move in with my mother-in-law and father-in-law indefinitely. Mother-in-law's house is very small, and they're all uncomfortable there, but she's the only one willing to take them and their dogs in. It's been almost a year since they moved in with her, and mother-in-law and father-in-law have been having a hard time putting up with them and their dogs because they don't stop barking and they keep peeing and pooping on the carpet. Now the house smells awful. Also, the dogs are not neutered slash spayed. One of the females is pregnant by accident. My husband, daughter, and I visited mother-in-law once, and the house was so chaotic that we did not want to go there again. My husband and I have a large custom home that we designed and built through hard work and sacrifices, and have the space for them and their dogs. The only thing is that we don't want to deal with their dogs and brother-in-laws and girlfriend's negligence, and turn our home into a crap hole. We have 3 dogs of our own, an Alaskan Malamute, a Golden Retriever, and a Maltese, all spayed and neutered. And we don't want to add 6 more until God knows when, because father-in-law and mother-in-law are fed up. They're asking us to take them in because they'll be more comfortable here. We told her that brother-in-law and girlfriend can come live with us, but not the dogs. Brother-in-law and girlfriend are upset because we're unwilling to help them. And they're telling the rest of the family that we're not good people. We're willing to help them. We just don't want their dogs here. Also, we are expecting our second child due on April 2024, and with brother-in-law girlfriend working full-time, and me being a stay-at-home mom, means that I'll be the one to take care of their Dutch hounds during the day until they get off work. Are we the beeholes? Hi, OP, and no way in hell you are the beeholes. Do not, I repeat, do not let those 2 move into your house, even if they don't bring the dogs, because they're gonna be idiots and they're going to ruin what sounds like a beautiful home you have. Look, I love animals. Heck, I have 2 dogs. My cap is 3 dogs. But 6 dogs, well, adding your dogs, that's too much. And like you said, their dogs are not trained, they're not spayed and neutered, so that means you're going to get more dogs, and they're going to destroy your home. They're going to destroy it. And it sounds like these 2 are going to be the people who might end up being squatters, and you got to deal with that whole eviction stuff to get them out of your house. You don't want that unnecessary stress. You know what? That sucks for father-in-law and the mother-in-law and all that, but they're the ones who took them in, and who cares if they're more comfortable at your house? That will make you uncomfortable at your house that is your house. And that whole crap with them telling your family that you're not good people, to me that's another red flag, letting you know you shouldn't let these people move in. Why would you let people who are talking crap about you behind your back move into your home and take advantage of you like this? OP, like I said in the beginning, do not let them move in. Your life will become a hell. And our final one comes from Recent Beginning 23. Am I the beehole for not wanting my ex to spend my child support on her other kids and taking her to court? I have a 4-year-old with my ex. We have a 75-25 to now 50-50 to me having full physical custody. She had twins with her fiance at the beginning of this year, but then they broke up. They're almost a year old now. I'm remarried as well. Ever since she's had the twins, my daughter has become second, or I guess third, to her mom. She comes to my house, unbathed, dirty clothes, no bag with her. She claims she's stressed with the twins. I get it. And broke. I asked, how is she broke when I pay her $1,200 a month in child support? She says one of her twins has a medical issue, and the other requires a certain formula, and the money goes quickly. with all of their groceries. I told her that's not my concern, and the money she gets is plenty to have our daughter 3 weeks out of the month. I told her to put her ex on child support, and she says he left the country. I actually searched for him, and he's traveling through Australia. I asked my ex for an extra week, then she agreed. Our custody is court ordered, but I didn't feel the need to actually go to court to modify it. A few months ago, after an argument when she missed pickup because supposedly it was too stressful to put her kids in the car, she threatened to get my payments increased since I got a new promotion. I knew she was saying it to get me mad and wasn't going to actually do it, but I was pissed and went ahead and filed for full physical custody and got it. My child support was lowered to $600, which is ridiculous since she only gets her once a week now, which is now just 1 week. I'm asking if I'm the beehole because the pay cut is affecting her twin's life, and she is now in debt with the insurance and prescription price, and she's claiming I stole her daughter from her because she's poor. A lot of people we mutually know are saying I'm being a petty beehole, and the money wasn't hurting me. But it was the principle. I'm starting to feel bad now, though. Am I the beehole? Hi, OP. No, you are not the beehole. You are obligated to take care of your child, not some other man's child that she had with him. Also, you should go for full custody and give her nothing. It's ridiculous that you still have to give her $600 for 1 day out of the week, and it sounds like 1 week a month. That's insane. Give her like $50. That is ridiculous. I agree with you. It's scary to have a child as a guy nowadays. You can just get raked over the coals and do nothing about it. And I don't believe her being petty or anything like that. She threatened you by saying that she would jack up the payments in court. I believe you acted accordingly. Even though you said it was empty and she wasn't going to do it, I still don't appreciate someone threatening me physically or financially. So I believe you took the right action against her. And no, you shouldn't feel bad about those twins. Again, those are not your children. She needs to go find the deadbeat that's running from her and have him handle his children. Personally, if I were you, I would go for full custody and let her never see the kid again because she doesn't love her child and she just wants to bleed money out of you. So fight if you can get her, if you can get your daughter, go for it, and use your money to take care of your child like you're doing. Looking down the comments, I agree with Cool Al. Not the beehole. You didn't steal your daughter. And the change wasn't because your ex is poor. You took custody of your daughter because your ex was allowing your daughter to suffer. Which is true. You were acting in in protecting your child. And Al goes on to say, everyone knows that the $600 isn't being used for anything for your daughter. If her twins need more care, she should look into social benefits, pursuing their father for support. I agree. Like I said, OP, you're fine. You're not even being petty or anything like that. You're protecting your child. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.